gentlemen, welcome to our webinar on Nigeria and Ghana, organized by the three export agencies of Belgium. Flanders Investment and Trade, represented by Johan Malin and Steve Mattens, which I thank very much because they have done most of the work. Hub Brussels, represented by Carole Monet, and the Walloon Export and Foreign Investment Agency, represented by myself, Marisol Miché. On behalf of the three organizers, I would like to thank Her Excellency Mrs. Sena Siao Baoteng, Ambassador of Ghana to Belgium, Luxembourg, and the European Union. I would like to thank His Excellency Mr. Obinna Chiodu Onowu, Ambassador of Nigeria to Belgium, Luxembourg, and the European Union. Je souhaiterais remercier l'intervention de Son Excellence Monsieur Wiemers, ambassadeur de Belgique en Côte d'Ivoire avec juridiction sur le Ghana, ainsi que Son Excellence Monsieur Bertrand, ambassadeur de Belgique au Nigeria. With us, we will have two speakers, the antennas of Flanders Investment and Trade, Tessa Brongers in Nigeria, and Jude Akolatse, who is the antenna for feet in Ghana. As speakers, we will also have the testimony of the company Agc, represented by Mrs. Barlet and Mrs. Azuka Onwuka. Je les remercie également pour leur intervention, ainsi que Madame Bouteillet, qui va nous parler du programme Match pour la migration. Mesdames et messieurs, je voulais vous souhaiter la bienvenue à ce webinaire sur le Nigeria et le Ghana, en préparation à une mission que nous espérons faire du 1 au 10 décembre de cette année. Beste dames en heren, ik weet dat u heel talrijk zijn hier en ik welkom u hartelijk op dit webinar op Nigeria en Ghana. Normaal is dat een voorbereiding voor een missie in december van 1 tot 10 december 21 van dit jaar. Hopelijk zal het lukken. May I also come back to the fact that you are all muted and the cameras will not appear for the non-speakers because we are over 100 participants, which I'm very pleased to say. But we will have a session of questions and answers at the end and only in the chat, please. So I'm very pleased to have you all here today in name of the three organizers. And I wish you a good seminar, which is a bit long because it will last for 2 hours, but we are working on 2 countries, first Ghana and then Nigeria. So I would like to pass the floor to Mrs. Sena Siao Baoteng, Ambassador of Ghana to Belgium, Luxembourg, and the European Union. The floor is yours, Excellency.
Jalil, you may open the presentation.
Thank you, Marisol. Good morning, all. Good morning, participants and speakers. I'd like to first acknowledge Flanders Investment and Trade, Hub Brussels, and the Walloon Foreign Investment Agency for this very laudable initiative. We are extremely very happy to be associated with this program, and I would like to also acknowledge colleague ambassadors who have joined us from parts of the world, Nigeria, Côte d'Ivoire, and also all those of us here in Belgium. I'd like to start my presentation by noting the fact that we are in a very difficult time globally, and this kind of initiative is welcomed by government, and we are looking forward to such a trip to Ghana, which we hope will happen physically, so that you would be able to enjoy the hospitality of Ghana. Of course, the objective is to do business, but what is remarkable worldwide about Ghana is our hospitality. I'll give an overview of what you should expect in this presentation, and then I leave the rest also to my colleague, Jude, who will be presenting later on during the program. And this is the advantages of doing business in Ghana, why you should invest in Ghana, are the key opportunities. There are guarantees, of course, a few challenges which Jude will harp on, but I will just go through these few overview notes. Now, Ghana is located in the West Africa, and we have a population of 30-odd million, with the longest coastline, 539. So those of you looking to invest in tourism and the hospitality industry, you have a long coastline to play with. We have the government system is a democratic government system of 4 years renewable term, of once renewable term, and our official language is English. We are located within West Africa, and therefore we have very strong relations with all the 14 other member states in West Africa. We also enjoy a free trade area, just as how the EU does, and therefore we can boast of a full population of over 300 million, almost 400 million citizens. So when you invest in Ghana, you reach out to the larger citizenry in the ECOWAS sub-region. 234 of those citizens are English speaking because the bulk of our population is in Nigeria, and my colleague from Nigeria will be making his presentation soon on why you should take advantage of our numbers. And the shipping time from Europe is very short, and you have flights. Brussels Air leaves Belgium. Used to be 7 days a week, but now we have 5 days a week. So it's pretty easy. Under 6 hours, you'll be in Accra, and the timing is good. Next slide. Now, Ghana is an investor-friendly country. You have the reasons why I think that you should pick Ghana and invest in Ghana. FDI in West Africa is #1, and we are #8 sub-Saharan Africa. We attracted FDI for the year 2020, $2.6 billion US. Even though it was a difficult time, we still did attract a good chunk of FDI. We are our global market research. We are #1 in West Africa and 5 best places to invest in sub-Saharan Africa. Global Competitive Index, you'll find it. Also, we have a very resilient economy. We have not recorded any negative growth even during the COVID-19 period. So between 2020 and 2021, we have still not recorded negative growth. So that is a good sign that the robust economy that Ghana, the government in place put up from 2019 with real GDP growth rate of 6.8% and the non-oil real GDP growth rate of 6.7% will let you know how very resilient our economy is, and therefore a very good place to do business. We are the gateway to African trade because, as you all are aware now, the Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat is based in Accra, and therefore all trading starts in Accra for the entire continent of Africa. We have very good investment laws. We have the GIPC laws in place. We have the banking and non-financial institutions, insurance, fisheries, securities. All these legislations have been very well put out. We have a very neutral and very strong judicial system. And we also have the Minerals and Mining Act that regulates mining in the industry and the petroleum exploration as well. So we have these guarantees in place for investors. These are government's priority areas: agriculture and agro-processing, manufacturing, tourism, energy, oil and gas, infrastructure. For those looking to invest in infrastructure, we are very open to building the rail network, because we need to connect the landlocked areas in West Africa. Ghana is sort of a breadbasket where most of the agro and the agriculture and agro processing happens. And then we are able to feed up to Burkina Faso, Niger. Those are landlocked areas, so they access Ghana's ports to be able to move their goods. So infrastructure is really very high on government agenda, and real estate, the financial services as well. And we are in the digital period. So digitization, the ICT is also on. As I've said already, you have incentives and guarantees. Custom duties, exemptions are there for plant, machinery, equipment, and the parts. And you can also repatriate your profits without any problems. And you have tax holidays ranging from 5 to 10 years, depending on the sectors you are in. And we have government flagship programs that when you invest in those areas, like One District, One Factory flagship program for government, for instance, if you take your project to a district, you will enjoy such tax holidays and exemptions. So this is just to encourage the industry to be spread out and not concentrated in the capital alone. And you have automatic migrant quotas depending on paid up capital. So those are the figures on the screen for you to see. And then, yeah, you can move the slide, Jalil. Also with the investment guarantees I have said, you can transfer funds in respect of servicing foreign loans. We also enjoy a remittance of proceeds in the sale of liquidation of investments. So all these are investment guarantees and strategies that have been put place by His Excellency the President, so that you are able to enjoy very good returns on your investment in Ghana. Next slide. So this is why you must do business in Ghana. We have a stable macroeconomic environment, strong democratic credentials, you note that. And fortunately, we do not have any attacks from ongoing terrorism in the area. We have a political stability, safe haven for investments, good enabling infrastructure, energy, roads, seaports, and we have the next session, the next presentation I'll be making following this. I'll show you where we have special economic zones so that you can just come in and plug in. Some are private, some are public-private partnerships. Some also you can also start up to develop such economic zones. So these are areas that you can quickly work in. You have access to commercial justice, very swift justice will be rendered if you should have any problems. And we have an educated workforce and skilled manpower so that your overhead starting business are quite low. There are some important contacts that you may wish to know. Maybe we'll leave that in the chat box so that you can go online and check out these important contacts. And then finally, I would like to say thank you for my first part of the presentation. Danke, thank you, Medasi, for those in Ghana. Now we have just very quickly, I'll leave you with the government flagship programs. Jalil, go on. We have for the reason why we want investors like you, we can do all the talking, we can do all the political and the bilateral relations, but the real ambassadors are the investors. They are able to move the economy. So we are very, very happy to have people such as the FIT and Hub Brussels and Walloon Foreign Investment Agency to be able to move our relations to a higher level. So government strategic pillars can never be realized if we don't have investors like you. And of course, government is doing all these strategic pillars under the EU Green Deal as well. So whatever we plan to do, we would also respect where you are coming from and the ideals that you champion to be able to invest also on our continent. Restoring the economy post-COVID is one of our strategic pillars, transforming agriculture industry, strengthening social protection, inclusion, revamping economic and social infrastructure. I want to state that for the period 2020, the agricultural sector in Ghana recorded a 7.2% growth, which was quite impressive because during such a difficult period, we were still able to produce. And those looking at the agro industry, you are very much encouraged. What I would also like to add is for the export out of Ghana to the EU region, those of you who are looking at that, packaging is also an area that we should look at, how to meet the EU standards, recycling recycled materials. Next slide, the next one. Yes, so I can leave you with these 10-point industrial transformation agenda. And this is where you can quickly plug in very easily. Like I said, one district, one factory. If you go and set up, we are pushing for industrialization, and therefore factories are very high on the agenda if you want to establish. And you should note that with the Continental Free Trade Area now in operation, when you establish and you produce made in Ghana or made in Africa, that is, you enjoy the tariff-free quota. So this is a very important point that you should note. And these are the areas that I want to leave you with. SPX is a petrochemical flow, which has now been set up in Ghana. It's in the area of Takrady. We have the public-private sector dialogue ongoing, SME development, and export development. So these are areas that you may wish to note and also be able to plug into whilst you think of your investment in Ghana. I thank you very much for your attention. I would be here with you and take any questions that you may wish to ask. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Ambassador, for your speech. We are very glad that Ghana is diversifying its economy and that you're going on really on the path of industrialization. So I think our ambassador in Abidjan, who is covering Ghana, wants to say a word right now. So Ambassador Wimmer, I spelled your name a little wrongly in the program. I put an S, it's not Wimmers, it's Wimmer. Mr. Ambassador, please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. It means that actually you would like to have more Wimmers than one, which I welcome. So Excellencies...
That is a great reply. That is a great reply.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's really a great pleasure for me to see so many economic actors who are interested in the coming economic mission in Ghana and Nigeria. And thanks so much to FIT, Agc, and Hub Brussels for convening this important meeting. As a Belgian ambassador accredited to Ghana, this fills me with joy as it shows the attractiveness of Ghana and its economy. And I really believe that Ghana has one of the most solid and attractive African economies. My colleague and good friend, Her Excellency Senasio Boteng, has already eloquently given some perspective on this, and I would like to pay tribute to her efforts to strengthen the economic ties between our countries. She's really not only a very good ambassador to Belgium, but also a very good entry point for companies who are based in Belgium. In that respect, I would also like to mention the tireless work of our Honorary Consul in Accra, Honorable Dimitri Avram, who is present here today, and of the Economic Advisor of FIT, Zakelijke, who will talk later on. I'm glad to see that those relations are getting stronger every year. And just to give a few figures, in 2020, both exports of Belgian products to Ghana and imports from Ghana have increased with 17%, 17, which is of course good news. And since the meeting has been convened by the three economic agencies, I would like to congratulate them for that, because it's an impressive result. Various investments projects have been launched recently in agriculture, infrastructure, and various other sectors. And I'm glad to announce that Belgium is now the third largest EU investor in Ghana, after Italy and France, having contributed to the creation of 32,000 jobs in the country. Of course, I mean, the present investments are important, but of course for the country, the jobs created are also important. And the fact that Belgian companies have contributed so much to the wealth in the country is important, and is probably also a reason why they would like to have more. I would like also to mention the Ghana-Belgian Business Club. It was established last year, and that is a testimony of those vibrant relations. And finally, Belgium is also a major financial partner of Ghana, thanks to Finexpo and state-to-state loans, which is an impressive support to companies doing business in Ghana. Well, there is a Ghanaian proverb saying that a family is like a forest. When you are outside, it's dense. When you are inside, you see that each tree has its own position to occupy. So I'm really looking forward to see all of you in Accra in a few months to better apprehend what position all of you can occupy in this forest and family. I'm sure that there are many opportunities to explore, and we are all here to help. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador. It was great to have you with us. With all those new techniques, we can have a lot more speakers, and we can have you with us even during our preparatory webinar, which is great, I think. So it is not a coincidence that that we are going to Ghana again. It's already the fourth time for FIT, and also Agc and Hub Brussels have been to Ghana, I think. So, but we are seeing a lot of opportunities there, and this is proven by the fact that we have appointed antennas in Ghana as well as Nigeria. And this enables us to have a voice from Accra directly. Jude, the floor is yours.
Good morning to everyone, dear ambassadors and our colleagues in FIT, Hub Brussels and Agc. I'm here to talk about Ghana and doing business and commercial opportunities we have in Ghana. My name is Jude, and I'm the FIT economic representative for FIT and Hub Brussels in Ghana. So I would continue. The first question is, why Ghana, and why do you need to come here? One, we're politically stable, we're easily accessible, we have a strong resource pool, we have ease in doing business, we have the educated and competitive labor force, and we have various international benchmarks, which I would continue to explain. So the first one would be politically stable. We've had a stable democratic climate since 1992. So it's almost 20 years of stable democratic leadership. We are ranked as the most stable political environment within the West African sub-region and also fifth in Africa. We have one of the best judicial systems in the world, measured by rule of law, and we are number 2 in West Africa, and according to the Global Peace Index. With regards to ease of doing business, We are ranked best place for doing business in West Africa, best destination in Sub-Saharan Africa, most competitive economy in the West African sub-region, and number 10 in Sub-Saharan Africa. And we are number 2 in foreign direct investment destinations in West Africa, number 7 in Sub-Saharan Africa. Easy accessibility. We are geographically closer than any other country to the center of the planet. So from wherever you're coming from, if it's from Belgium or from any other European country, you should understand that Ghana is the place to go. We have a world-class airport. It's comparable to the Zaventums and the Schiphol and the Heathrows you can have. We are home to one of West Africa's largest ports, Tema, which is also currently being upgraded. We also have the Takrade Harbor. We have immediate access to over 350 million people and the market in the economic community of West African states. We are an active player in ECOWAS. And if you should come to Ghana, you would realize that we have a very good network of roads and trunk roads. We have a competitive and educated labor force. So we have availability of skilled and trainable labor. We are one of the most educated people in Africa in comparison to education and where we've reached. One of the most competitive minimum wages in the West African region. Annual average rate currently is around $565 for minimum wages per year annually, and one of the highest literacy rates in the West African region. We have a strong resource pool. We are number 2 in cocoa production, aside Cote d'Ivoire, and now we are linking and working together with Cote d'Ivoire to become the number 1. So we are working hand in hand. We were number 2 in gold mining. Now we are number 1. We surpassed South Africa by over 40 tons of gold production a year. We are number 1 most peaceful country in West Africa, and number 2 for GDP in terms of purchase power parity in West Africa, just right after Nigeria. I would move on to the business and investment opportunities in Ghana and what you should be looking out for. I would mention information and communication technology, services, health sector, including pharmaceuticals and medicine, e-commerce, agriculture, agri-food processing, financial services, real estate, energy, tourism, and crude oil, which is also becoming a very big sector in our country. I'll first go on to information and communication technology. So we have a very, very vibrant telecommunication sector with estimated mobile phone, and what I mean by mobile phones, smart mobile phones, around 16 million. The tower managers and telecom investors alike will see that the greatest growth is in data services. We are working a lot in that aspect, in fintechs, in mobile money, and the government is working very hard to ensure we improve our cashless society. So there's a lot of opportunity there. A booming oil and gas sector is also pushing for better all-round services to support their growth. Increased digital literacy rate due to the influx of smartphones, as I already said, has developed e-commerce exponentially. So we are looking at apps such as Facebook, such as Instagram, such as Pinterest and the rest, Jumia, to sell our goods online easily and really fast. We go on to the financial services, and we have seen major improvements. Since 2017, the banking sector has gone through a great reform in order to improve investor confidence and shore up the banking sector's ability to finance big ticket transactions. Ghana has shown more promise than any other country in the region. So we have more than doubled the number of ATMs. You find ATMs all around the country, and especially in Accra, almost every road you should take, there would be an ATM around. Mobile banking is on the rise. We have surpassed, mobile banking has surpassed more transactions, more than even checks could ever see. Over 200 billion cedis, as we saw in the news the last time. The country is working also towards a cashless society, and it is a perfect place for investment in fintechs, information technology, due to its democratic and financial stability. Looking at the construction and real estate, this is a booming sector. Now, if you come to downtown Accra and neighboring suburbs, you will see a surge in construction. There is a lot of opportunity here for construction, and what I am going to mention is that it's not only about building and building materials, but also we're talking about interior designing and other sectors related to construction. We're improving on our national digital property addressing system, which addresses the house numbers and easily identification of houses and where you're located. We have a national identification program going on, which are all interlinked, so we can easily identify people and places easily. And government is streamlining the land and property ownership to be more open, effective, and transparent. So you shouldn't worry about land or property when you come, because we're putting in place effective and improving controls to ensure you're okay and your needs are addressed. Your needs are addressed. I would also want to talk about the railway sector, which is becoming a very important sector here. We're investing a lot in the railway sector, and there's big opportunities there with regards to bridges being built, and we are connecting right now. There's an ongoing project connecting the Eastern Corridor to Burkina Faso and onwards. So this is very important. We already have built a land port in the Ashanti region, and we are connecting that so that cargo can move easily by rail to from the harbor to the inner countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and the rest. With regards to services, we are the largest contributor to Ghana's GDP. And the high-level education of labor force means easy access to the labor market. You don't have to worry whether you are not going to find the expertise you need or anything. What I can assure you is that we have very highly educated people, and even if you need expertise which are highly skilled or in a niche market, it's easy to train them because they've already gone through the university system and they're ready to learn as quickly as possible. We're looking more into partnerships, trading, and distributorship also, because yes, we agree we cannot produce a lot of high-end goods, but we are ready to partner, to trade, and to distribute the goods you're providing in Belgium or elsewhere. We're looking at the repair of vehicles also. The vehicle market here is quite huge. Sale of household goods, we're talking about agricultural produce, the meat industry, chicken, and all that. But we are also looking for opportunities to improve that here in Ghana. So we are looking at the poultry industry. How do we improve it? The fish farming industry. We are looking at the agriculture industry, how to improve agricultural produce and all. We're also looking at transport and storage facilities. This is a big problem and a big opportunity for investors outside. Knowledge and technology transfer is very important to us. Yes, we have the skill, we have the manpower to do all these things, but of course, we don't have the knowledge and we don't have the technology to do it. One sure way is to bring investors and the technology and the knowledge to partner with companies here to do that. Looking at healthcare, COVID-19, of course, has exposed the country to inadequacies in our healthcare infrastructure. We are requiring a lot of hospital beds, which is an opportunity for the outside market, of course. We need hospital and laboratory equipment. We are talking about the MRIs, the CT scanners, high-end and sophisticated laboratory equipment for fast and easy diagnosing. One sector we are looking really into is medical tourism. And here we are talking about the cancer, the heart surgeries, the kidneys. We already have a heart unit, which is world class. Now we're looking to take the extra step into the kidney transplant and to the lungs and to the brain surgeries and all. We're also looking at R&D centers. So if you're interested to start something here, this is the place to come because we already have the skilled and trained doctors and personnel for that who are just waiting to have these put in place. Looking at the pharmaceutical industry, we are more than ready to partner with R&D developers for production of much needed and enhanced medications, vaccines, antibiotics, ARVs, you can mention them. Tourism and entertainment, we have had a growing demand in cost-effective pre-packaged domestic and international travel tours. We have a growing middle class who now want to see the world and also see what we have locally. So there is an opportunity in the tourism market. I see a lot of people using Airbnb, using the tour guides and all that, the apps. It's a booming business, and it will be a good advantage to take opportunity in that. We're looking at local tourism development. We have a lot of tourism areas not quite developed. We need some investment there, and there are opportunities there with the Ghana Tourism Authority to channel investments there. We're looking at setting up of resorts. Ambassador said we have a long coastline, so you have opportunity to set up resorts at the coastal lines. In country, we have hiking places where you can set up the hotels, and we have forest and mountainous areas you can look at when you come. Opportunities in indoor multi-purpose arenas are a big thing. We're looking at investment in that also. With regards to agriculture and agro-food processing, Ghana's agriculture sector is a major economic driver. We don't joke with our agriculture, and we want to improve it as much and as fast as possible. We have a bigger opportunity for partnerships and investment in local agriculture and livestock. We are talking about deel chicks, incubators, and all that. We are looking at existing government support and opportunities for value-added products before export. So we are talking about packaging. of goods to meet EU standards and EU food safety standards. Agricultural productivity is hampered by inadequate and improper storage facilities, as I already mentioned. So we are looking at storage and logistics to decrease our large post-harvest losses, because we are getting low returns on our produce. Opportunities exist for the storage side, as already mentioned. Looking at energy, I can tell you that right now we have a lot of electricity and power available, but it's not cheap. It's very expensive. So it accounts for 69% of modern energy use in the economy. As it is expensive, we are looking at also other ways to make electricity and power cheaper. So we are looking at green energy and sustainable energy. We're looking at solar, wind, and waste to energy producers. Now, ongoing maintenance of power grid lines, substations, and transformers creates an opportunity for investment in that sector. So don't hesitate, if you're in that sector, to come and give your options to government. Foreign-based companies continue to enter the market in Ghana. Local content law also means that a large number of foreign companies require local partnerships, and this is also important for us. Of course, we cannot mention the good things without also saying the challenges. I've also mentioned some of the challenges already. We're talking about expensive power supply. We're talking about delayed payments to contractors and businesses. I will tell you that these things are seriously being looked at. We have a high CD depreciation and exchange rate, but I would tell you this is also becoming normalized. We've not had a depreciation this year as huge as we were having before. We are looking at the multiplicity of taxes, and this has to do with also agreements we have with ECOWAS and also the international countries abroad. High interest rates on loans, and this is locally. The interest rates on loan right now are averaging around 23% for local businesses, and Ghanaian buyers are very price sensitive. So in comparison to European goods and Chinese goods, well, we'll go for the cheaper version. So we should, although we're price sensitive, we're also looking at quality. If you bring quality with a good price, we would go for it. The last one, but not the least, I would say, is fraud. Fraud is very prevalent in this part of the world, and I'm talking about sub-Saharan Africa. Of course, we are here to help you. Do not hesitate to contact us when you have any issues regarding emails and spam you receive. It's always good to verify. So we're here to help you. Last but not the least, I would also say there are opportunities in the education sector, where we are ongoing with a free senior high school education. We're trying to make education free for all, and there's a lot of opportunity in ensuring that we achieve that with regards to the quality and the time taken to educate our people and our populace. Looking at sustainability, we are looking at a lot of recycling now. We are into plastics recycling, and with the other side of sustainability is forestry. We have had challenges with illegal mining, and it's destroying our water bodies. We're trying to correct that, but we would also need investment in land reclamation and into growing of new trees. There's already a project underway where we are planting 11 million trees in Ghana now, and it's a project which is undertaken by the government and spearheaded by them. So forestry is a big thing, and you would get as much needed support if you're interested in that sector. Last but not the least, I would say Ghana is the best place to come now. If you've never been to Africa to do business and you want something easy and you want to start very easily, I would say that Ghana is the best place to start, because Ghana at the end is Africa for beginners. And I would like to thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jude, for your encouraging presentation. We surely can't wait before going back to Ghana, because for me it will be a going back. But you are right, it is a very good first reconnaissance of Africa to go to a place like Ghana. So we are closing now the part on Ghana. I want to remind you that the Embassy of Ghana has put a lot of useful web links in the chat. You might want to copy paste them because the most important Ghanese agencies are there. So we go next to the ambassador of Nigeria. We have a recording. Maybe the sound is a little soft, so this is not due to your computer settings, it is due to the recording, but everything is understandable. I invite you to listen to the Nigerian ambassador now.
Good day, everyone. I would like to begin with gratitude to the Wallonia Export Investment Agency, Brussels Invest on Export, as well as the Flanders Investment and Trade for organizing this webinar preparatory to the trade mission to Nigeria and Ghana in December this year. It is heartwarming, coming few weeks after my arrival in Brussels to assume duty as the ambassador of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I should express the embassy's appreciation to all participants for finding Nigeria as a worthy investment destination. Nigeria, a West African country of about 200 million people, is the largest economy in Africa. It accounts for over 60% of European Union's trade with West Africa. With South Africa, both countries serve as the manufacturing hub of Africa. I understand from the figures made available to me quite recently that trade volume with the EU, it was about 20 billion euros in 2016, about 26 billion in 2017, and 34 billion euros in 2018. The figures were much lower in subsequent years due primarily to the economic recession in Nigeria and the global COVID pandemic. Nigeria's exports during the period remained largely crude oil, and for obvious reasons, oil and gas accounting for 90% of total export volume and more than 80% of government revenue. This has always had a negative impact on the country's economy, especially when crude oil prices are low in the world market. Experience in the past few years reflected this, which resulted in increasing inflation, high interest rates, debt, and unemployment. The situation was also compounded by the activities of the Boko Haram insurgents in the northeastern part of the country. But there's good news, and that is that the country's economy is currently climbing out of a recession, and it's now poised to maintain its attractive credentials. The current administration in the country has been diligently pursuing the flagship program, the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which seeks to stabilize and diversify the economy while consolidating the position of the private sector as the engine of growth of the economy. Target sectors that the government have identified: agriculture and food security, transportation, power, industrialization, infrastructure, employment, among others. And in a bid also to improve the economic base of the country, the government has also identified some products for exports, and they include cocoa, cotton, cement, leather, cashew, sesame, shea butter, palm oil, fertilizer, petrochemicals. And all these are all in an effort to ensure that we do not just end up selling raw materials, that we are also able to add value. And I must also mention at this point that these efforts of government draws from the lessons we learned when the country's GDP was rebased, and in the economy, the rebasing of the country's economy in 2014, which showed that oil accounted only for about 12% of its GDP, contributing even less than agriculture, IT, trade, entertainment, and services. And consequently, government is galvanizing resources and institutions to raise local production and productivity while also improving the business environment. World Bank figures in the past few years indicate a considerable improvement and the ease of doing business, and government is resolved to ensure that it maintains this upward trend. I would like to now go to address some of the enormous potentials and opportunities available in Nigeria, and I'll start with agriculture, which is actually the main focus of government now. Nigeria accommodates large tracts of arable land, which makes agriculture an important sector of the economy. Agricultural sector contributes about 20% of Nigeria's GDP, and crop production dominates the sector, accounting for 22.6% of the GDP, alongside livestock 1.7%, fisheries 0.5%, and forestry 0.3%. Investment opportunities are available in mechanized crop production, food processing and preservation, beef processing and packaging, fruit juice, canned fruits, beverages and confectionery, cash crop processing, exploitation of timber and wood processing, livestock, horticulture development, agricultural input supplies and machinery, water resources development, commodity trading and transportation, development and fabrication of appropriate small-scale mechanized technologies, and development of private irrigation facilities, as well as production of improved seeds and agrochemicals, and production of veterinary drugs, and as well as market research. With regard to industry, Nigeria is a natural location for a variety of industrial activities due to the availability of natural resources, available labor cost, and large market. It produces a large portion of goods and services for the West African region, and the industrial sector contributes an annual average of about 23% of the GDP. And the major activities include oil and gas 9%, manufacturing 7%, and construction 5%. Now to oil and gas, which still remains the mainstay of the country's economy. Nigeria ranks as the largest oil producer in West Africa and has the largest gas reserves in the continent. The state-owned Nigerian National Petroleum Company accounts for more than 50% of oil production and over 40% of gas supply. The local refining capacity is put at 24%, which is quite low. This creates a huge gap between demand for refined petroleum products and their local supply. Towards bridging the gap, the downstream sector has been open to the private sector participation. In this regard, Dangote Petroleum Refinery is currently constructing a refinery in Lagos, which is set to become Africa's biggest oil refinery and the world's biggest single-train facility. On manufacturing, Lagos and its environments remains home to about 60% of Nigeria's industrial activities. Other industrial cities include Kano, Aba, Ibadan, and Kaduna. Nigeria's major industries include beverages, cement, food processing, textile, and detergents. The sector contributes about 9% of the national GDP annually. On cement, Nigeria is becoming home to the world's largest emerging cement companies. Two companies, Dangote Cement and Lafarge Wapco Cement, control about 80% of the market. Currently, Nigeria is almost meeting its local demand, and the industry is expected to begin to export to neighboring countries very soon. On services, Nigeria is one of the most open services markets in Africa. Services account for about 53% of the country's GDP. The main contributory services are trade, 16%, information and communication, 12%, real estate, 6%, professional, scientific, and technical services, 4%, and financial and insurance, 3%. The prospects of the market are strong, with 49% of the population being internet savvy. Nigeria has the largest online market for apparel and footwear in Africa. On information and communication, Nigeria is home to the fastest growing and largest telecommunications industry in Africa. With a population of over 200 million people, as I did mention before, about 49% being active internet users, ICT industry presents attractive investment opportunities, especially in private network links, internet business and satellite communication, payphone services, and cellular radio phone services. Because of time, I would not go in detail addressing other sectors, but I should just like to mention that the financial and insurance industry in Nigeria has become more diversified, quite strong, and that many Nigerian banks are operating in many African countries. And the brewing industry, the food processing, textiles, health, specialist care, housing, solid minerals are sectors with prospects which investors may want to explore. Now, the question one would want to ask is, are there incentives to investors? And in this regard, I just would like to mention that the government has introduced many incentives to encourage investors in these sectors. These include income tax relief for a period of 3 to 5 years for pioneer status companies. There's also 0% import duty tariffs for import of agricultural equipment, as well as exemption of interest from tax on loans granted to agricultural activities. This being as a result of government's interest or determination to ensure food security in the country. There's also avoidance of double taxation agreement in respect of income and capital gains, the protection of investments through investment promotion and protection agreement. There's a full repatriation of profits, which is about 100% repatriation of your profits. Nigeria has also ratified African Continental Free Trade Agreement, and the result being that the market opens up to the African market. From 200 million in Nigeria, you are able to enter 300 and something million plus West African market, and thereafter the African market. Now, the question one would ask is that why Nigeria and why not any other country? I think there are some strong points here for Nigeria, and these are: one, a large and competitive market with huge and unmet demand, also a growing and increasingly sophisticated middle class with tech-savvy young adults. There's a large and flexible workforce, and the entrepreneurial population, innovative, creative, and highly resilient, as well as access to finance through government institutions, private financial institutions, and development finance institutions. In concluding, I should observe that there are a considerable number of foreign companies, including Belgian companies operating in Nigeria. I learned there are not less than 40 Belgian companies. There are also over 100 Dutch companies in Lagos, environmental loan, French, UK, American companies operating successfully in Nigeria, and they have remained in Nigeria even for decades. And the opportunities exist for more of these, for more companies, including yours, to explore the biggest market in Africa. I would therefore urge you to avail yourselves of the opportunity to invest in Nigeria. The embassy, as always, is ready to provide any assistance you may need. I look forward to welcoming you to Lagos and Abuja in December, together with my friend and colleague, Ambassador Daniel Bertrands. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Yes, I can say thank you very much because you are live with us in the meeting, although this was a streaming that went quite well, as you could notice from my enthusiastic reaction. So we now go to Tessa. Tessa, your mic, you're still muted, but you can unmute and we listen to you.
Fantastic. Good morning, everybody, Your Excellencies, organizers, and of course, esteemed guests. Thank you so much for joining us and learning a bit more about Nigeria. I am going to share my presentation. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. Okay. So, Nigeria, the ambassador has already mentioned a lot about this country. But of course, let me first start by introducing ourselves. So I'm Tessa from the Netherlands originally, and together with my colleague David, we run the representative office of FIT in Nigeria, but we support all other Belgian companies as well if they require some support. And we are supported by a larger team here in our office in Lagos. So, why Nigeria? I've been here for almost 15 years, and there is not one single week without somebody asking me, why on earth are you in Nigeria? Because as you can see on this slide, it has, some issues. And a lot of people associate Nigeria only with the words that you see on the screen now. Now, I would like to say that none of that is actually true. Unfortunately, it is. There are issues in Nigeria, and when it comes to doing business, the foreign exchange shortage is perhaps even one of the biggest. But it is also the largest market in Africa. So if you want to do business in Africa, you cannot avoid Nigeria. I mean, 1 of every 37 people in the world is Nigerian. And if the country in itself is too big for you, then focus on Lagos. More than 20 million people and an economy bigger than Ghana and Kenya combined. But when you're looking at doing business, perhaps more important is it that there's opportunities everywhere because it's import dependent and there are wealthy companies. It has an incredibly young population, actually one of the youngest countries in the world that is embracing technology and is growing, and we're very diversified. The ambassador already mentioned that oil is the mainstay of the economy, but it is just 9% of the economy. So it shows that from a business perspective, you find opportunities everywhere. Luckily for us, a lot of Belgian companies have already found that out, and they have been here, some for decades, and across all sectors. A company like Nigerite, which is essentially the subsidiary of Agc, building, there's agriculture, chemicals, dredging, there's, of course, used trucks and vehicles. There are Belgian companies already doing business with Nigeria across the board. And as you can see, at $2.38 billion, it is quite a sizable market for Belgium already. Now, the challenges that I said are real, but they create the opportunities. And a very clear example is clean tech. So Nigeria has one of the biggest gaps in demand and supply of electricity. And you cannot bridge that just by building more infrastructure in the national grid. No, so Nigeria leapfrogs in many sectors. It does it with IT, with mobile phones and e-commerce, but also with clean tech. So when you think Nigeria and you think about the challenges, I would really encourage people to say, no, those challenges are actually the opportunities. So opportunities everywhere. I'm not going to go into the different sectors. Of course, the ambassador has already mentioned the strong growth in a lot of them and where the opportunities are. But I would like to say that opportunities are everywhere because every sector is underserviced and import dependent. And they're growing fast. I mean, even during times of COVID, we had construction, which is typically a sector that doesn't grow in a recession, but it grew with double digits. So, you know, it is knowing where you will play. And I always say, like, you know, perhaps there is, if you look at the newspaper headlines, there is no growth in health. But if you have the right proposition, you can actually find business in Nigeria. And that is what I've seen Belgian companies do as well. Plus, they are benefiting from the fact that Nigeria continues to develop. There's, you know, compared to where it was 15 years ago when I arrived, you know, the economy has become more formal, more digital, and there's, you know, more and more companies that are potential clients of Belgian suppliers. So if you want to do business in Nigeria, a very important part to understand is that it's a relationship economy. So you need to build a network or deal with somebody who already has that network as your local partner. It is a very personal type of doing business. But the good thing is that most of the managers and directors of companies you will deal with would have studied abroad. So they know Europe, they travel. I mean, if you try and make an appointment with a Nigerian company, you will find that, like, it's difficult to pin people down because they're always traveling. Of course, a bit less now with the pandemic, but hey, we're getting there. I've had my second vaccine already, and COVID is actually not really an issue anymore in Nigeria, and we're already seeing business travelers come back to the country. So, and what you will find when you get here is that Nigeria is incredibly welcoming. You will never hear "you're welcome" as often as in Nigeria, and it's meant like that. It's a very sincere thought. Foreign business people are very welcome. And, you know, I sometimes say that Nigerians are like the Dutch people of Africa, very loud, very direct, but you know where you stand with a Nigerian. So in terms of ease of doing business, in terms of relationships, it's actually quite straightforward and easy. But to be successful, you have to realize that Nigeria is not Kenya, is not Rwanda. You have to tailor your proposition to Nigeria. And, you know, also my colleague Jude in Ghana mentioned it, like, you know, you have to be competitively priced in this part of the world. If you're not competitively priced, you have to give a clear advantage or be cost saving, for example, for your clients. Because at the end of the day, even the very wealthy companies here tailor to, you know, a group of people that may not have the funds. So it's a very crucial point to be competitively priced. Also, like I mentioned, it is a relationship economy, so you have to visit. If you don't visit now because of COVID, then have regular virtual meetings, WhatsApp call your partners. You know, the commitment to the market has to be there. A long time ago, like over a decade ago, you could just send some boxes to Nigeria and that was it. But now it is about having a long-term relationship with your clients, with your partner, and having a value proposition. At the same time, you have to be patient because it can take a year, sometimes even 2 years to really get going in this country. But what I have seen in the years that I've been here, that once a company gets it right, they tend to be more successful in Nigeria than in other countries. But the key to the success is most probably to find a suitable partner. And with a suitable partner, I mean somebody who can really help you grow, who has the financial capacity to be your partner, who has an existing network, who is, you know, has branches over the country, for example. And this, of course, is where FIT comes in, because we can help you identify those partners that have a track record with international companies. And of course, you know, you have to give KPIs that are relevant and help you grow, because if you stick with the wrong kind of partner, you lose time with Nigeria. But once you have a partner, the support becomes super important, because a good partner tends to have more than one international partner. and will go for the low-hanging fruit. And if the partner feels not supported by you, then you will go to the back burner essentially. And you have to understand that like they are dealing with a challenging environment, they are dealing with foreign exchange issues, they are dealing with naira depreciation. So if you sell equipment and you want them to purchase a lot of equipment and then sell it from their branch in Nigeria, it doesn't make sense because they lose money, instantly because of depreciation. So you have to understand the market. So essentially what I would like to say is anybody that wants to do business in Nigeria, there's opportunities, but you have to research the market, understand the market, and be prepared. And that is where FIT can come in to help you. And also, those other Belgian companies that are in the country, they want to help. The market is big enough for everybody, and you will find that you'll get strong support from other Belgian companies with their network, their experiences. So reach out to us and to other Belgian companies, and I would say, please come to Nigeria and do business. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tessa. I especially liked your message that Belgians have to connect amongst each other because we have a strong focus on networking too. So thank you so much, Tessa, and we can go to the next. We can go to Mr. Ambassador now because I reversed the order a little bit. This was my mistake. I'm sorry, Mr. Ambassador. You were to give a courtesy reply to the video that we saw from the Embassy of Nigeria. So I give the floor to you.
Thank you very, very much for this wonderful event. And thank you very much, FIT and AWEX, to organize such an event, which is very important and appropriate. I think that Nigeria is really a very interesting market for Belgian companies. As my friend and colleague, the Nigerian ambassador in Brussels mentioned, Nigeria is a huge market. 200 million people, the first economy in Africa, and I think that Belgium has a lot of opportunities here. For the time being, there are some Belgian companies active in Nigeria. I visited them in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Benin City, etc. We are very active in port facilities, in agricultural productions, and we have a very good reputation in this country. But I think also that we are a little bit too unknown and not sufficiently visible in Nigeria. That's why I am very happy to know that there will be an economic mission to Nigeria this year. Before COVID, there was also another economic mission to Nigeria from FIT, from AWEX, and these missions were very successful. So I encourage Belgian companies to come here. For the time being, our commerce is too concentrated on oil and petroleum. I think that Belgium has a certain number of advantages and we can promote them in Nigeria, especially in the agricultural sector, transformation of agricultural products, but also construction. Nigeria is very active in Nigeria, well known as well, but I am sure that other construction companies could come to Nigeria. This week I have a lot of meetings with Nigerian institutions specialized in promoting business and investments. I think that the Belgian embassy is at your disposal, the disposal of FIT, AWEX, and the Belgian companies willing to do business here. We are already preparing the mission in December, so we are totally at your disposal in the next few months to come ahead and to go ahead together. So I just wanted to insist on my availability and the availability of my staff to prepare this important mission. And I would like also to address a special message to my Nigerian colleague in Brussels who has just arrived and already making a great job. So we are in close contact and I am totally at your disposal. Many thanks.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Mr. Ambassador. We can now go to a number of testimonies, mainly from Nigeria. First of all, we have a company, Agc, formerly known as Glover Bell, who already built up a presence in Nigeria and who will now testify about this. So, Mrs. Bartlett, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So I just take over. I guess you can see my presentation?
Yes, no problem.
Okay.
Yes, now.
I was checking. Yeah. Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm really pleased to share this Nigeria experience with all of you. So my name is Valerie Bartlett. I'm working in the Worldwide Strategy Office of Agc, and I will share this presentation also with Nena Azuka Onwuka, who's going to explain her experience. She is our representative in Lagos and Nigeria for Agc. So I will first explain a little bit for the one who maybe do not know Agc, who we are. So we are #1 glass producer. We have different activities, but in the glass, we are really #1, serving the building industry and the automotive industry with very high quality requirements, as you can imagine, for the automotive and for the building as well. We also have activities in the electronics and chemicals where we have leading positions. We are present on a worldwide basis, so we have really industrial production in the different regions. So in the US, the Americas, also North America and South America, with a very strong presence in Brazil, for example. We have a huge presence in Europe, including some industrial activity in North Africa. And we have also an industrial presence in Asia, Japan. So our worldwide operations are really divided in different regions. So Americas, Europe, and Asia. I will now make a focus on the Europe. European activities. So there we are really active in 2 business segments only. So building and automotive, not a lot in chemicals and electronics. Just what you can remember is that 1 car out of 4 is glazed by Agc. If you look at your car, there is a high chance that the glazing is coming from Agc. And the same for building. 1 building out of 4 has an Agc coated glass, most probably. Also, one important point that I really like to remember is the fact that we have a R&D center in Belgium with 300 researchers only making research for glass. So you can imagine the kind of expertise that we are developing there, integrating electronics, or here you can see on the right in the picture, it's solar cells which are integrated also into the glass for generating energy thanks to the facade. So this is just an example, but we are a very innovative company developing every day new products for any kind of regions. We can serve very hot countries, very cold countries with advanced performance of the glass. So that's the global perspective of Agc. I will now share the experience we had in Nigeria, because as you could see, we have some presence in Africa, but we decided really to make our first steps in sub-Saharan Africa in 2017. So this is how we did go. We did go with 3 main steps. And I really liked the approach explained by Tessa just a few minutes before, because we really did go through the same journey as you explain and recommend in a way. So we first started with exploring the country. We really did go there, visiting and meeting people. We did about 3 visits. We did 3 visits of about 5 days. And we really explored our market. So what is the glass market? What is the supply chain? Really understanding the logistic, understanding the needs in the market. And we have been meeting a lot of people, but also beyond the glass industry, really talking to journalists, talking to some political people, talking to key influencers in the market. So that was really our first step to explore and really get to know the reality of the market. Then progressively we defined our strategy, what could be a first step to enter the country. And we shared this with our top management for a short-term strategy and a long-term strategy. And then we decided to go for a first step implementation. So, and we decided, and I will go a little bit into more details afterwards, in hiring and training a person on the market to have our first representative office in Nigeria. And then when the person, and the person is Nena, who's going to speak just after. So I think it's really a nice way to demonstrate the achievements. And now Nena is really developing the market, but also exploring new opportunities, really being on the market, which is, I think, a key element is really to be there to understand better what are the opportunities. A global recommendation I would just make is to say about security, because it's popping up a lot in the conversation when we talk about Nigeria, is just to check and follow the security advices adapted to your situation. So it's not necessarily the same security which applies to someone who's already living there for 15 years or someone who's just visiting the country. So you really have to adapt, to check and to follow the appropriate security measures. But we never had any real problem while following this. So our approach, we wanted to, we recommended to the top management to have really what we call a seeds approach. So to really test some elements and then to see how we can grow it. And we said that to be really successful in this area, in this region, we need to have a different mindset than what we have when we go for Europe, a new industrial presence or something. We wanted to have a really flexible setup and to go for testing, learning and adapting. That's really our philosophy. But still, we wanted to have a very clear target in terms of what we want to achieve and focus on. And we decided to go for mid and high-end projects, which is really where we can be competitive, because indeed there is a very huge market for cheap products, but we wanted to be there with our added value and our specific products adapted to the region. So the opening of the Lagos representative office had very clear objectives. So it was for us to develop our local presence and the brand awareness, to enhance our market knowledge, and also to explore the additional business opportunities while being there and knowing the market very well. And in parallel to that, we really wanted to start not exactly sales, but at least what we call prescriptions, so working on the specifications of the large projects in Nigeria, so working very closely with the architects, the builders and the fabricators. So we started a local recruitment with a local recruitment office who made the pre-selection, organized the meetings online for the interviews. But also we did go on site to meet really Nena and other candidates. And we had support for the contractual part as well. We decided not to create a local legal entity, but we used a local administrative structure, which is fully okay. I mean, really legally foreseen for representative office, as long as you don't make sales. You can really have a representative office without a legal entity created locally. And we started the training programs. And what I really recommend again is also to have really the person coming to Europe and really getting in touch with the team and getting to know Agc organization was really a key point. So I think the best way now is really to let Nena explaining her experience, and I'll pass the word to you. I give you the floor, Nena. I think you're already in control, so it's very good. You can take over. And of course, we are there for questions, Ivani.
Nena, the floor is yours, so you can put on your camera if you would like to do so, but you're free to do it as you wish. Okay.
Okay, so thank you very much, Valerie. Mine is just one slide, and greetings to everyone. Very good morning to you all. I am Nena Azuko-Wonka, representing the AGC business in Nigeria and the rest of West Africa. But today our focus is Nigeria, and I'll just continue from the part of the strategic direction for Nigeria. So as soon as we had decided on what the strategy would be, and I had been engaged to run these affairs, I would today be sharing with you what our own business ecosystem is. And this is from the AGC perspective. We play in the construction industry, and everything I'm sharing with you today is based within the limits of our own operations. So what has worked for us, and not forgetting that this is just our own testimony, what this environment has offered to us as a business. From my own experience on the field, I found that those 5 factors here are the things that have worked for us as a country, as a company within Nigeria. Has Nigeria been favorable to us as a business? Yes. The insecurity situation that everyone is complaining about, yes, this exists, but I always like to tell people that this is one of the things that makes Nigeria a unique country. The fact that in all of its challenges, a lot of businesses are thriving. So for our kind of business, we've ensured that our product sourcing is perfected. To do business in Nigeria, the products have to be available. The consumers want to be able to have access, immediate access. You know, like Nigerians would always say, can I have it like yesterday? So not minding that some of those products would have to go through a process of a logistics process. For us at AGC, we do not store our products here. So our products are largely based on demand because we service the mid to high end markets. And some of those products are not products that are also held in stock. So we have glass that are hard coated products and those that are soft coated products. For the soft coated products, their shelf life is quite short. So these are not products that we can hold. But it's important to ensure that you have your access to products sorted. The regulatory authorities, for us, we had a lot of support from the Nigerian Investment Protection Council. We are not a registered company, so we didn't really go into a lot of details with them. But for those of you who would like to do business in Nigeria, you might want to contact them because they will be your one-stop shop for things like business registration, tax holiday, etc. They generally would make your starting up a business very easy for you. Then whatever industry you're playing in, you must have a very good relationship with the professional bodies. In our case, we have the Architects Registration Council of Nigeria, the Nigerian Institute of Architects, the quantity surveyors, the engineers, all of those people. We developed a very good relationship with them, and they in turn became specifiers for our products. So it really did make my own job easy. And I would share with you the various touch points, how we have gone ahead to relate with these people. Beyond the professional bodies, what we also did is to hold our own bespoke events where we meet with people in the industry, the players in the industry, the facade makers, the architects themselves, but this is not at their own events, it's at our own organized events. And this has helped us to gain even more grounds within the industry. So our awareness level grew from almost nothing to something today. So you cannot mention manufacturers in Nigeria today without talking about AGC. And when I say glass manufacturers, I'm not talking about the Chinese companies. I'm talking about the high end and the middle level segments of the industry. Then, of course, it's important that you understand how the industry you're coming to play in works. A good knowledge of how the industry works would help you to channel your strategy correctly. It would help you to build your business well. So if you know who the players are, you indeed need to do the SWOT. They understand the strengths, the weaknesses, the threats, the opportunities you have in the market to be able to play in this market. Then also very important is being able to provide local support for the customers. When I say local support, we found businesses in our own industry who have employed people who are not based in Nigeria. Personally, I've come to realize that Nigerian customers like to see the company that they deal with. So you won't engage someone for Nigeria who's located in Ghana or who's based in Ghana or Ivory Coast and then has to make periodic visits. No. When the Nigerian customers want to do business with you, they want to know that you're not just a phone call away, but that you can physically appear when you are needed, because we're a very fast-paced country and people like things to move on the fast lane. So this has been our experience generally. Other topics I'd like to touch on: electricity supply. In Nigeria, Nigerians believe electricity is very expensive. A lot of government people would like to say that we are not expensive when compared with other countries, but this is not exactly true. When you compare your cost of, when you take the percentage of your cost of electricity vis-a-vis other components of the business that you run, then you find that electricity is quite expensive, and you might want to be very prepared for this as you decide to take on business here in Nigeria. Our currency is also consistently on the decline, especially in the recent times. So these are things that you also need to consider. Importation into Nigeria is not the easiest, not with the clog that we have at the seaports. But of course, businesses are still thriving. We're within all of these limits, and I can say, as a business player here in Nigeria, that things have been working out for good, not without the challenges, but of course, there is no challenge in Nigeria that is not surmountable. If you have this at the back of your mind, then you really won't have issues doing business in Nigeria. I thank you all for listening, and I would just want to share with you some of the touch points I told you about earlier. So these are some of the events that we have attended and where we have leveraged to meet with our own customers. So we've done this through fairs, we've done this through trainings, bespoke trainings. We've done this through connecting even with the students at the university level. So every opportunity to talk about glass, we do not avoid that. We have also invited industry players to our company in Belgium, where they've come to meet firsthand with us, where they've come to experience our product firsthand. And in addition to that, we've also supported local partnerships. So it's not just about selling glass. We've also helped our customers to build their own businesses. For instance, in our line of business, apart from the manufacturing of glass, which is where we specialize, there is also the processing aspect of the glass. We've encouraged local business players to invest in glass processing, and we've provided them support in this regard. So we have businesses that we have done this with. Here on the screen is one of the trainings, Agc owned trainings that we had, and it was very successful. On this last screen are some of the projects that we have currently ongoing. We've done a lot of projects in Nigeria, many of which you know. So you know the EcoBank head office in Lagos. It was glazed by Agc. The Central Bank of Nigeria HQ in Abuja was also an Agc project. So we've, in all, we are one of the happy business players here in Nigeria. So I thank you all for listening, and I encourage you to come to Nigeria. You would have no regrets whatsoever. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie and Nyanya, for your very practical testimony. we are glad that things on the ground can run very well with a little patience. So now we go to the next speaker, and we now will speak a little bit from a different angle. We have the International Organization of Migration with us, who will tell us more about their match program, which is all about hiring local people. Because when you are building up your presence, you maybe at one point would like to hire some local people. That is what Mrs. Bouteiller-Paquet, what Daphne will talk about.
Good morning to all of you. I hope that you can hear me well and that you can see my presentation.
Yes, if you can put your camera on, Daphne, so people.
For the sake of internet, stable internet connection, if you don't mind,
Okay.
I will just yes.
Okay.
Keep the camera off, and apologies to all for that. Thank you very much to the organizers for inviting me to present actually the match project on behalf of the International Organization for Migration. My name is Daphne Bouteiller-Paquet, and today I will present you actually the details of a project called Match, which can help you to recruit highly qualified talents from Nigeria. I think actually it makes a nice link with the previous presentation from the company Agc. Our webinar today is a good opportunity for me to go through a reality check and explore further with you what are the concrete modalities to join the Match project and to hire the perfect talent for your company. So I'm very happy to present you one of our ambassadors, the CEO of a Dutch company, a company called Delft Imaging, which provides medical equipment supplies to allow early detection and effective treatment of the tuberculosis disease in Africa and across the world. And this is one of the companies for which we are sourcing talents, and we hope actually to complete recruitment for them in the coming weeks. That slide was there to actually share with you the fact that our project is demand-driven, and we can help you to recruit in a very wide diversity of sectors. We are currently running recruitments in the ICT sector, the pharmaceutical industry, finance, technology, engineers. Very recently, we have completed a recruitment in the agro-food industry for a Dutch company called Bejo, which is active in the northern part of Nigeria. So in a nutshell, in this project, we really see Africa as Europe's next greatest opportunity. But in the design of our project, actually, we have started from actually the information that recruiting abroad is increasingly a need for a Belgian company. The information that is presented to you on this slide is based on a study published by Agoria, which is the Federation for the Technology Sector in Belgium.
Daphne, may I interrupt you?
Yeah?
Because your slides are not moving. If you want, I can do that for you.
Yes, please.
So
sorry for
the
that.
ambassador. To which slide do you want me to go?
I'm on a third slide, sir.
Third slide, okay. Okay, you can go on. I will move the slides forward.
You can see the statistics?
Yes, we can see it.
So that's the one, and apologies for this inconvenience. So as I just mentioned, so we designed this project in order to meet the growing need of Belgian companies to overcome manpower gaps. In the slides in front of you, you can see statistics that are based on the information shared by Agoria, but I can see that the participants cannot see the slides.
No, excuse me, we're still on slide 1. Johan?
Yes, yes, but I cannot do it because I'm on slide 3, so Daphne has to move forward herself. Or maybe I will take
There we are. Now we're okay.
Okay, take control. Okay, thank you.
Slide 3, okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's quite a cumbersome process. And again, my apologies. Just to wrap up quickly on that one, just to say that we started from the needs and the increasing needs from companies to fill up labor shortages. We have based ourselves on a study published by Agoria, which actually has done a baseline analysis of the labor force in Belgium, job by job and sector by sector. And at the horizon 2030, we see that if nothing is done, we will have close to 600,000 unfilled posts. Although, of course, measures will be taken to activate the domestic labor force, we believe that smart migration is also an answer that can help companies to overcome labor shortages. Let me then explain that actually the Match project is open, obviously, to Belgian companies who need to fill up their manpower gaps by recruiting highly skilled talents from Nigeria and offer them a job placement in Europe. But our project is also open to subsidiaries of European companies that are based in Nigeria or wish to actually expand their activities in Nigeria, and they can hire qualified talents, send them for trainings and skills development in their headquarters in Europe, and then relocate them back to Africa in order to further expand their business. One of the core aim of our project is to develop a business model that meets the needs of the companies, but which also contributes to the transfer of skills and knowledge back to Africa, and that allows qualified talents to upgrade their skills. And obviously, this labor mobility scheme is a great opportunity for companies to tap into the potential of Africa, and more particularly Nigeria, for the sake of our conversation today. The Match project is not only implemented in Belgium, we are active in 4 EU countries. So should you have actually subsidiaries in one of these EU countries, we would be able to work with you within the project of the Match project. And when it comes to source countries, we work not only with Nigeria, but also with Senegal, and regrettably not yet with Ghana. But I have noticed that it's also a very promising country. When it comes to the concrete operational modalities, I would like to also share with you the information that we offer you an individualized work plan through an assessment of your needs by a team of experts recruiters. And that helps us to understand which kind of profile you need, which skills these profiles need to master. The pre-selection of the pool of talent will be carried out on site with the support of local partners, including private recruiters. But the pre-selection is supervised by VDAB, which helps us to ensure the high quality of the pre-selection. Should you decide to actually recruit through the Match project, then together with yourself, we would actually run a pre-departure orientation sessions, provide information to the talents on their country of destination and the local context, and help you to actually integrate these new talents in your company. We obviously also guide you with all the administrative procedures for the relocation, the application for the work permit, or the preparation of remote working. We will follow up with you and support you through periodic monitoring, and also offer you some dedicated trainings to help you with managing diversity. The pre-selection of talent is free of charge and flexible. So there is no recruitment quotas imposed on the company, and the company makes the final decision whether to recruit on a permanent or on a temporary basis. And of course, you can also decide not to recruit should the pool of talents presented to you not meet your expectations. This is our team. In Belgium, we are working very closely with VOCA, with VDAB, as I mentioned previously, and with Agoria. We also have a local team in Nigeria that you will be able to meet should you actually go on mission with the organizers of this event today. But do not hesitate to contact us for more information. I'm also, of course, available to answer your questions during the Q&A session today. Over to you, Johan.
Thank you so much, Daphne, for your interesting presentation. We are glad that you can help us to get foot on the ground in Nigeria and also in Senegal, of course, which is another of our favorite destinations, I may say so. So we are ready. We are nearing the end of the webinar now, and I will tell you a little bit about what you're all curious about. That is about the trade mission itself. So we will have this mission to Ghana and Nigeria from December the 1st to December the 10th of this year. You are all eager to leave physically. We are aware of that. Okay, so why did we choose Nigeria and Ghana, and why have we built up a presence there? Let me show you some statistics of our main markets in Sub-Saharan Africa. That means Flanders, because I have those statistics for Flanders only. But I'm sure they're comparable to the Belgian statistics. You can see that Nigeria is our biggest market, but I will point out on the next slide why that is. South Africa is a very diversified market and will stay second for quite a while. Togo has been a transportation hub for quite a while because they have a deep port where lots of containers leave for the rest of West Africa. But on the next slide, again, you will see that Togo disappeared. Ghana is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 7th destination on my slide, but it has ranked higher. This is an average for the last 5 years. But if we look to 2020, the Corona year, you see the statistics have been shaken up a little bit. And for your convenience, I have separated non-oil from oil products. And if you do so, then you see that Nigeria is only the 2nd country of destination, as a lot of our exports are oil products. Oil prices have been low last year, and that is the reason that Nigeria did not rank the first. Maybe it would have ranked a little higher, I think, but also the same accounts for Ghana. Oil prices were lower, and that is why there are only 8, I think, without oil that would have been a little higher. So what about the physical mission? It is planned from December the 1st to the 10th, as I already told you. We will go to Accra, Abuja, and Lagos in that order. We already took that decision because logistically this is the most convenient. We go to Abuja. It is not the economic capital of the city, but the political capital of the city, and most of the governments are located there. Also, the multilateral development banks are there. But even last time when we were in Nigeria, we had some B2B in Abuja too. So this is already also possible, although it is not the focus. We already looked at some air travel. I saw in already in the chat that there were some questions about flights directly to Nigeria from Brussels, but at this point it is not yet the case, and that is why probably we will use Lufthansa flights. We will certainly let you know when we took this decision. We will only stay 1 day in Abuja. That is enough. We have the experience from last year. But if you want to stay longer, of course, you're welcome to stay. We are always flexible. If you prefer, so you can skip Abuja too and fly directly from Accra to Lagos. As told before, we are flexible. The hotels have yet to be chosen, but this time maybe we will have to look a little bit closer to cancellation policies, which will be more important than other years because of Corona, of course. So I told that we would stay 1 day in Abuja. Some companies really can do business with governments, although this is very, very difficult, very challenging in Western Africa. Well, for some companies, this is really the target, governments and international financial institutions. So here you see this is a French, the words are in French, but you can see clearly what the main sectors are where you can do business with the government. It's about mining, about water, agro industry, health, of course, all kinds of infrastructure, building and public works, energy, tourism, education. So here I put a link to the website of the government of Ghana, where you can find their programs, upcoming programs in these fields. You can follow them up on this site. Later on, when we will send you the PowerPoint presentation, you can click on this slide. And here I did the same for Nigeria. Here you have the website of the Budget and National Planning of the Ministry of Finance of Nigeria. So another target is the multilateral development banks. Why are they so important? Because it is difficult to do business with governments in West Africa, and you might feel more comfortable when this when you're selling in the framework of a project that is monitored by an international institution. Payments, for instance, are guaranteed, and that is something that you, as an exporter, always will like. So we would like you, if you are in that case, if you want to do business with the government, please let us know from the start, because it takes a lot of time to track all those projects. They're not always so easy to find. Same for governments. If you're interested in government projects, please let us know, and we will do some research for you. I already told you the backing of multilateral development banks is preferable in case of government projects. And organizing B2G is very different from B2B. And I must admit that we appreciate the support of the Belgian embassies in this regard, and also the consulates. What about Corona, the C word? So we will have not only to monitor the situation in the country of departure, which for most of you will be Belgium, but it's not always the case, but because some people leave from other countries when traveling to Africa. Not only our situation, if I may say so, but also the local situation. So we always have to monitor the two sides. Some West African governments have been very severe from the beginning. They locked down the country very rapidly. and now they are reaping the fruit of this, as numbers are very low in Africa, as you know. So, but measures in West African countries may change from one day to another. So, FIT will monitor all this for you. We know the websites, we know the information, we have the embassies, we have the antennas. So we are well informed in this respect. Corona vaccination, you may compare this to your yellow fever vaccination. I think that by December, maybe African countries will oblige, it will be mandatory to be vaccinated. I do not know, but I think you will make your life easier if you travel a lot by taking your vaccines. But if the mission cannot take place physically for one reason or another, FIT will have all the flexibility and the experience in place to go virtual. I will explain what the virtual way of doing this mission will look like. But you will always have the occasion to cancel your participation if you don't like virtual. We respect this, and you will have the possibility to cancel your participation. If you want to check the information on Corona yourselves, here are some good web links. Stable web links with updated information all of the time. People working in the health sector may be interested in this website, the website of the African Medical Suppliers platform. That is all about vaccines for Africa, but also other medical supplies. And there is even an Alibaba kind of marketplace for medical supplies and medical equipment. So in case of a virtual mission, what will happen? We will take this decision in September, if possible. We think, we hope that in September we will have enough indicators to know if we can go virtual or not. If we have to go virtual, the mission will be shorter because it doesn't make sense to let you stay 1.5 weeks online. So we will shorten it a little bit. We would like to minimize traditional webinars, as you already had enough of that. We suppose we would like to organize sectoral meetings if possible. We can try to set up meetings with government agencies, but in cases we go virtual, I think that will be just a little bit more difficult. For what the B2Bs are concerned, we can promise you that we have antennas in country that really have the experience, and they will check and recheck the presence of your counterparts. So even if it is virtual, you will have really good contacts, and we will try to make sure that they are there. What will the roadmap towards the mission? So next week we will start with the registration of the webinar of the mission itself, and by then we will hope to share some information on prices too. I can imagine that if you go virtual, it will be less than the full price for a physical travel, but we still have to discuss this a little bit internally. So what is important is that we have your profile as soon as possible, so our antennas can start exploring the market immediately for you and search for contacts. If at any point, this is also important, we would have to restrict the number of participants, say, because you can only have a maximum of a certain number of participants in one meeting room. If that could be the case. If that would be the case, then we really will make our selection on the time of registration. So you have an advantage if you register early. I also want to mention that before we have this mission, we have one occasion you can prospect the Nigerian market, meaning if you are working in the drinks and food sector. So not only if you export food and drinks, but also if you export the machinery to inspect the food, to transform the food, to pack it, to pack the food. All these sectors are represented in this trade fair called Agro-Food Nigeria, which will not be physical. So our antenna in Lagos will be present at the mission, and you can send in your brochures, and our antenna in Lagos will represent your company in this case. I think this could be a very good preparation to the actual mission for people in the food sector, because you can already let yourself know before you leave to Lagos. So we will take our decision in September on the physical virtual aspect. And as I already told you, you will be able to cancel if you want so. We like to show this slide in every presentation because the SDG are always present in whatever action we undertake, and certainly in developing countries. Here's a nice picture of Jude when he started at FIT. And here we have a nice picture of Tessa, also when she started to work for FIT in May 2019, not only for FIT, also for Agc and Brussels. Here you have some contacts in case you're further interested in the mission. If it is FIT related, you want to contact FIT. If you are a company from Brussels, you would like to contact Carole Monet, who is very eager to leave to Nigeria too. Balloon companies can contact Agc. Maybe small words for the Flemish companies. You will, as always, you will be able to apply for subsidies if you are an SME. Apart from the normal prospection subsidies, we also have a corona-related subsidy, which is more flexible, but for which calls are launched, and the next call will be in September. So this will be the end of my presentation, and I would like Marisol to take over for question and answers.
Thank you very much, Johan. This was fantastic. I think your timing is fantastic also. And I think I won't make it very long because I think everything was quite clear. I haven't seen many questions. I will just resume a few points. I would like Carole Monet to put her camera on because she's a third organizer. So maybe it's good to have her with us also. The ambassador of Ghana asked if she could just do a closing word. So as we don't have many questions and answers, I will see if she is still there. And can she show herself? Is she still there, please?
Yes, I'm still here, but
okay, you wanted to do a closing word. So before the questions and answers, which are very short, I will give you the word.
Okay, but the closing words it's a picture, or a 1 minute picture movement. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so can I have the screen then? Is it there?
No.
I think Joanne still has the screen. Okay, then let's go to the Q&A whilst I try and figure it out, and I'll come back. Thank
you. Okay, fine. Thank you. Well, actually, there has been a few questions on food, frozen food, on eggs, but all that has been answered by Tessa and by Jude, so there's no problem. I had a question on Luxembourg companies, and I would just like to emphasize that Wallonia is responsible for Luxembourg inscriptions to the mission. So if ever there are Luxembourg companies who want to come with us, they have to pass by me, and we can see what we can do. I see Carol cannot be put on camera because she hasn't spoken. Okay, but she is there present with us from Hub Brussels. Then one of the questions were on the flight, just to ask the ambassador of Nigeria if he could do something about direct flights, but well, obviously it's just a hope. Travel restrictions also, I think Johan cannot answer that today, as even the Minister de Croo cannot. So we are following that very closely, as you see. We have talked about that. Concerning subsidiaries, Hub Brussels and Wallonia also have some that can help you out in your expenses if the mission is physical, also for flights and for hotels. So you can find that on our site of Hub Brussels and of AWEX. And then I think, Johan, you said that we could go only to Lagos and not to Abuja. But for me, you can also go to one country, and you're not obliged to do both countries, right, Johan? I think you said I saw you writing down that we had to go to two countries, but I think you can only go to one country if both countries do not interest you. So there will be a mailing for this mission a bit later on. So we first have the summer holidays, and then we'll be with you. Now, since I'm speaking, I haven't seen the questions, so I want to thank very much Johan and Steve, and also Arnold, who's been behind the technical issues. And we are still there for questions. You have all our contacts, and we can pass them on to Tessa and to Jude. So thank you very much. And I wanted to mention, Johan, that we had 108 participants, and until 5 minutes ago, we still had 100. So I really congratulate you. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
I just want to give the information, yeah.
I lost connection, but I'm here again now.
Okay. So as I said, there might be questions who have been come up, but as I speak, I cannot read them, Johan. So, but whatever, we can give just a word to the ambassador, yes, or a picture.
Thank you so much, Marisol. I just wanted to say that as you are organizing from whichever areas that you are in Belgium, when you let us know and you put the passports together, people don't have to come physically to Brussels. So we can make that arrangement when it comes to visas. We are very flexible, especially when it's an organized trade mission. So you don't have to come individually. And I'll have a chat with my colleague in the Nigerian embassy as well. I hope I have his consent, and we will organize this so you don't have a lot of movement. And just to once again, thank you very much. And I was going to show a picture about Ghana to leave on your minds, but I just can't seem to share the image. So thank you so much.
Well, I think seeing you is a beautiful image with your flags also behind you. And I do thank you for the visa part, because it's a bigger job for the agencies and the companies. So thank you for that word too. Okay, the final word is yours, Johan.
Well, when I looked at the chat, honestly, I saw already business going on. People were already heavily networking, and that's really how we like it. And for the rest, I really want to thank all the excellencies. Some of the excellencies already left the webinar, but then again, I thank you a lot. Also, I thank our antennas in Lagos and in Accra a lot. The testimonies were very useful, I thought, of Agc. And also the match program seemed quite interesting to me. So, and of course, I thank the audience. We run a little bit over time. We're 9 minutes over time right now, so that is still okay, I think. And you're still there in a big number, and of course, I thank you for that. And we hope to see you on the plane towards Accra and Lagos in December. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye. This was good. Bye-bye.
Bye.